A very good afternoon. You're watching NewsX at 2:30 with me. I'm Akshay Tandon. We are tracking the biggest admission that has come from Pakistan on 26/11. The former NSA Durrani, in a press meeting this afternoon in New Delhi, has confessed, saying the 26/11 Mumbai attack was carried out by a terror group based in Pakistan in a classic trans-border terrorist event. Let's take a listen in.
The terrorist attack in Mumbai, carried out by a terrorist group based in Pakistan on 26 November 2008, is a classic trans-border terrorist event. I hate to admit this, but this is true.
There you heard it coming in from one of the top bureaucrats there in Pakistan. This is the former NSA Durrani, who has spoken out at an event in New Delhi, saying that Mumbai terror attack 26/11 was indeed carried out by a terror group based in Pakistan in a classic trans-border terrorist event. In fact, after realizing what he has said, we saw how Durrani immediately gave a clarification on his speech. Let's take a listen in.
Statement on television in Pakistan, which the government didn't like, and I got a sack. Isn't that sufficient for you?
Yes, I know.
But one more point. I know for definite, I have very good information that the government of Pakistan or the ISI was not involved. I am 110% sure.
Let's go across to my colleague Geeta Mohan joining us with further details on this. Geeta, a big admission that's coming in from a very senior bureaucrat there in Pakistan, former NSA Durrani, saying that this attack was indeed carried out by a Pakistani-based terror group. And then, of course, realizing the ramification, he tries to backtrack. Geeta.
Well, this is not the first time that the former National Security Advisor of Pakistan, Mahmud Durrani, admitted to the entire attack being hatched in Pakistan. One of the reasons why he actually lost his job, which is what he's explaining later, saying that he was sacked because he had admitted that Kasab was a Pakistani and that the attack was indeed planned in Pakistan. The bigger issue over here is the fact that after the National Security Advisor had admitted, there's nothing that Pakistan really did, and now there is a reiteration of what Durrani has been saying all along. But the fact that he also goes on to say that Hafiz Saeed is of no utility to Pakistan and action should be taken against him is a huge thing. It comes at a time when Pakistan is reeling under a tremendous amount of pressure to take action against Hafiz Saeed. And in that, what we are seeing is that Hafiz Saeed has been put under detention. The FATF report, which is not very kind on Pakistan, is one of the reasons why Pakistan is trying to show intent in fighting terror. But the former National Security Advisor coming out and saying that Hafiz Saeed has no utility in Pakistan and should be taken action against is a huge news that's coming in. Although this is not the first time that the National Security Advisor, the former National Security Advisor of Pakistan, has come out and admitted to the entire attack being planned in Pakistan. What he has also gone on to say is giving a clean chit to the ISI and the establishment. That is a problem area. That is where most of these national security advisors, or for that matter, top former bureaucrats and generals, try to make the differentiation. It was planned there. They were terrorists, and Hafiz should be brought to book. But no one from the establishment was involved, and that's where India begs to differ. That's where even the international community begs to differ. But at this point in time, what India wants is not about the state, but particularly about the terror organizations. And if Pakistan is intent in fighting terror, then at least bring those perpetrators who are directly involved to book. And in this case, it's Hafiz Saeed.
So the question is, why continue to harbor a terrorist like Hafiz Saeed, Geeta? If he is so inconsequential, as is being said by Mahmud Durrani in that press conference, why shouldn't Pakistan, why shouldn't Nawaz Sharif go ahead and hand over Hafiz Saeed to India, as we have enough evidence, enough proof that goes to show that he was indeed responsible for the 26/11 strike in Mumbai?
Well, that's right. The fact that India has provided all the evidence it could collect to Pakistan, but the bigger issue over here is not the fact that India has provided evidence, but India has been maintaining that 99% of the evidence lies within Pakistan. Now, the admission of former National Security Advisor to Pakistan is significant only on that count, that if there is admission that the plan was hashed in Pakistan, then how can Pakistan continue to deny that the evidence in Pakistan doesn't exist, or the evidence that has been provided as leads for Pakistan to really collect evidence in Pakistan is not sufficient. And Pakistan in that has really been caught. Pakistan has been caught in those lies with the former National Security Advisor, again admitting and reiterating that the entire plan was indeed hatched in Pakistan. The onus lies on Pakistan to really collect that evidence for it to be presented in court so that there can be a fair trial on the 2008 Mumbai attacks case within Pakistan. And we haven't seen that really happen. And that's where this statement of former National Security Advisor, every time he makes it, nails Pakistan, that they have been lying about the lack of evidence that has been given by India. They also have been lying about the evidence that they need to collect in Pakistan that lies within Pakistan. India has continued to maintain that 99% of the evidence is in Pakistan. If the entire plan was hashed there, then certainly Pakistani authorities and the intelligence bureau there can do its job of collecting that evidence, and that's where Pakistan stands exposed. Although the significant statement that that Durrani made regarding Hafiz Saeed is also important, wherein he is saying that Hafiz Saeed is no longer a national asset, that he should be brought to book.
Okay, let me bring in Mateen Haider, senior journalist from Pakistan, joining us over the telephone line. Mateen Haider, we just heard your former NSA Durrani here speaking in India in an event, very categorically stating in his statement that terror groups based in Pakistan were responsible for 26/11 attack. Now, he's the same man who also lost his job in the past when he made similar statements in Pakistan. Your thoughts how your country will really take this comment that's coming?
Yes, thank you for contacting and seeking comments. Major General Mahmud Durrani is former Pakistan's National Security Advisor, and of course, whatever he said about Hafiz Saeed, Pakistani government has already taken action against Hafiz Saeed, and his organization is officially banned, and he is put under house arrest. And as far as the mentioning of the thing that certain terror groups from Pakistan are involved, as far as Mumbai attacks are concerned, the matter is still sub judice. It is before a court of law. So General Durrani, whatever he has said now in the personal capacity. And matter, as I've told you, it's still pending before the Pakistani courts and before the Indian courts, and Pakistan needs more information regarding some of the characters.
But Mateen Haider, don't you think that the Nawaz Sharif administration now needs to take further action, at least where Hafiz Saeed is concerned? Because Mr. Durrani also very clearly pointed out that Hafiz Saeed is inconsequential to Pakistan. So whatever this house arrest may be with a man who has a bounty on his head as well, there is enough evidence against Hafiz Saeed as well. Don't you think it's imperative on the Nawaz Sharif government in Pakistan to take action against Hafiz Saeed?
Yes, well, responding to this question that Nawaz Sharif administration is taking action or not, the Nawaz Sharif government has already taken action, and a proper notification was issued that Hafiz Saeed is being placed under house arrest in Lahore. And as far as Hafiz Saeed and its network is concerned, whatever he has been, there has been no state patronage to that particular thing. He's an independent person. There are independent people also in India who have been involved.
No, but Mateen Haider, he's not an independent person per se, looking at how he's been the former NSA. And that's the point. That's the point. He's a former NSA, a senior bureaucrat.
NSA. Who can believe and trust on former National Security Advisor? A retired general is an independent person.
Yes, and the fact that he is admitting, after 9 long years that the 26/11 strike was actually orchestrated by a terror group based in Pakistan only goes to show that Pakistan still harbors terrorists, and that's the point we're trying to reiterate.
Media reports as well, Hafiz Saeed was acquitted by the court of law because of the lack of evidence, and this is just, I said, that India needs to provide more evidence regarding some of the characters involved in Mumbai attacks, and if there is no evidence, case will remain in pending. So Pakistan has requested number of times Indian authorities that provide more concrete evidence or give access to some of the characters so that the proceeding could be moved further. And as far as Hafiz Saeed is concerned, number of times he was acquitted not by Pakistani authorities but by the court of law.
All right, Mateen Haider, we leave it at that. Thanks very much for speaking with us here on NewsX. Geeta, if I can come back to you, one should not be surprised. Even the journalists speak in the same tone. We're looking at constant denial that's coming in from some of the journalists there in Pakistan, saying that more proof is really required when it comes to Hafiz Saeed. Enough that has been provided by India. We're looking at how much the bounty the US has also declared on Hafiz Saeed's head. Yet, there are some in the quarters of Pakistan who continue to believe that more is required against Hafiz Saeed. Geeta.
Well, Akshay, the question is not whether if more is required or not. It is when you ask, the question that we need to ask these Pakistani journalists is this, that when a former national security advisor who was in charge of all intelligence and security issues admits to the fact that the attack was planned in Pakistan, and this is not the first time that he's admitted. He in fact lost his job admitting to this very fact that Qassam was a Pakistani and that the plan was indeed hatched in Pakistan. Then these Pakistani journalists need to answer, why is it that the 99% of evidence that lies within Pakistan has not been collected by Pakistan? It's because the evidence has not been collected that there hasn't been a fair trial in Pakistan of the Mumbai 2008 attacks. And if the evidence is collected and provided to the courts, then the courts will have no other choice but to indict these terrorists. The problem lies not here in India or the evidence that India is providing. India provided
Okay,
all
Geeta, sorry for interrupting you there. We do have with us on the telephone line Mr. Shashank, a former Foreign Secretary and strategic expert, joining us. Sir, your thoughts on what's really playing out this afternoon? We have the former Pak NSA Durrani admitting in one of the biggest admissions that's really come in that a Pak-based terror group was indeed responsible for the 26/11 strike. But we've also been speaking to some journalists in Pakistan who continue to maintain that now he's an independent man and there is no enough proof against Hafiz Saeed.
Well, actually, it is really a judicial process which has to be gone through in Pakistan, and which they have not been able to follow up because of lack of evidence in Pakistan. So I guess that Mr. Durrani and many other people from the intelligence and other organizations in Pakistan would have to follow it up through the judicial system in Pakistan if they really want to come out clean.
But Mr. Shashank, this admission, don't you think this is one of the biggest admissions we have seen from a former NSA, somebody who is so well versed with the entire security apparatus on the policies of a country where matters such as terrorism is concerned, him in the position of former NSA initially now coming out and saying that there was a terror group in Pakistan, shouldn't that hold a lot of importance and significance that only goes to expose Pakistan further?
No, the point is that he is an important person, there is no doubt at all. But we also know that Pakistan was involved in this, so we don't have to depend only on Mr. Durrani's statement to feel very convinced, or more convinced about our own assessment. It is for the Pakistani courts or Pakistani government to take a decision on this matter and to come out clean. I mean, what is the point of our continuously repeating and then bringing out one retired person after another retired person in Pakistan saying these things, unless they go through their own legal and judicial systems and convince their government to come out clean on this and take action against the people who have been spreading terrorism elsewhere, killing.
But Mr. Shashank, if we do not do this, if we do not do what you're saying that we have done over the past 9 years, how do you think justice will be provided? Because of all the pressure India has been able to put, we are looking at how some sort of action has been taken against Hafiz Saeed. Whether it's a sham, we'll have to wait and watch. He's been put under house arrest. His name has come under the anti-terror list that we do know of in Pakistan. It's because of all of this over the past few years that India has been doing. We're looking at some sort of action that Pakistan is taking.
No, it is good that Mr. Durrani has said, but there might be many reasons why he has said it. Either it is Pakistan government which has decided that there should be some good people and some bad people, like there are some good terrorists and bad terrorists.
Like good Taliban and bad Taliban. Right.
Secondly, they have to see that the Americans who are thinking in terms of going for extreme vetting for the Pakistani people, that they find that yes, there are some good people in Pakistan who should not be put through this extreme vetting, and there are others who we should be put through it. So therefore, we do not know what is the reason why these things are being done. In the meantime, what I am saying is that the government of India is already convinced, because we have all the proof necessary, and not only our own proof, but also proof which has been received from other intelligence agencies with the help of the other government.
True.
And then therefore, for us to feel convinced even more that somebody from Pakistan has said this, what we need is that action within Pakistan, number one, to come out clean so that in future such actions do not take place. And secondly, that other international partners like, let's say, China, which has been trying to safeguard Masood Azhar, then they should be able to also get convinced.
Absolutely.
And also, Durrani has that credibility in India, so I'm sure he has more credibility in China and Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
Then his statement should be taken for granted by these countries, and then they should come out even more strongly against Pakistan.
Sure, and if I specifically ask you on what else he said, he spoke of Hafiz Saeed as well, Mr. Shashank, where he said that Hafiz Saeed is inconsequential there in Pakistan. One can only hope that Nawaz Sharif is listening to what Durrani has to really say, because if he is so inconsequential, should not Pakistan hand over Hafiz Saeed to India if he is such an inconsequential man today in Pakistan?
No, he may have become inconsequential as far as the government of Pakistan is concerned. But I can tell you one thing, that Mr. Durrani will be in a very uncomfortable position once he goes back to Lahore or Pakistan.
Indeed.
Because I'm quite
for
sure
having
that
spoken
many
the
people
truth
from Hafiz Saeed's unit will be for his blood. That they have been giving threats to many other people who have spoken against Hafiz Saeed. They are under tremendous pressure. So I'm quite sure that Mr. Durrani is also going to be under similar pressure.
Sure.
So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes.
All right, Mr. Shashank.
In the meantime, we hope that his statements are taken more seriously.
Latest context of Mr. Durrani speaking out, how does it really help in India case further? Should you think we should in any way take this up with Pakistan?
Yes, we should take up with all these countries, not only Pakistan, with everyone else. We should inform them. And we should keep on adding to this evidence that we have against Hafiz Saeed and all these perpetrators of the 26/11.
Right. Right. Appreciate you joining us, Mr. Shashank. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us. Geeta Mohan, thanks very much as well for joining us with your inputs on that big admission that's coming.